That's a very good question, and it's important that we set the context straight. I'm here representing Sacred Heart University Luxembourg, or you might see it somewhere also written is Jack Welch College of Business and Technology. We are actually a European campus of an American university. They are in Fairfield, Connecticut, and there they are huge. They have 10,000 students, they have a humongous campus, they have the college, they have university, they do MBA, they do PhD. Here we are small, petite, but very much concentrating on MBA. So we are doing international MBA program. Now that doesn't explain yet why we're sitting here with Vodafone. So let me explain that. We have two parts of the program. One part is where people who are already here in Luxembourg, working, career, family, friends, decide to do an MBA. They can. It's called a part-time MBA. They do it next to the job, in the evening with us. Perfect. Now, you also have people who want to do an MBA in Europe, and they might find us, because we do it in English, so it's quite accessible to people who do not speak French or German. And they leave family, friends and job behind, travel to the petite country here in Europe and enter our program here. They do exactly the same program as the part-time students, but faster, so they do it in 2 years' time, but they don't have a job. We want them to be able to integrate everything they learn in their day-to-day as well, and we want them to have experience here in Europe. So we ask them to do internships, and these not the short ones, but it's really, 6 months or more internships. That's where Vodafone comes in, because of course we are embedded in the Luxembourg business society and environment, and they are happy to also take our students for their internship programs, and we have developed a very good relationship with many companies here in Luxembourg, particularly also with Vodafone, and they're going to tell you, of course, how our students and their program, how that also fits.
Well, thank you so much. We are very happy to be here. We've been invited by Sacred Heart University, and we have a great partnership going on. So we are actually quite grateful to be here and to share our experiences with you and with the audience and all the participants. We also attended Moovijob Fair a couple of times, and also with a great success, meeting lots of excited and enthusiastic people. So sure, we are grateful to be here and to present ourselves. I'm actually Pascal Van Benschop. I work with Vodafone here in Luxembourg, and let me tell you a little bit more about Vodafone. It's Vodafone Group, part of Vodafone Group. We have a few entities in Vodafone Procurement Company that is actually covering and managing all the global procurement needs of Vodafone worldwide. We have Vodafone Roaming Services, who actually takes care of all the global contracts where it comes to roaming, ensuring when you travel outside of the EU, you still can really connect, obviously. And then we have also our Innovation Center in Tomorrow Street, which is actually a joint venture between Vodafone Procurement Company and Technoport, a Luxembourgish government, an organization owned by the Luxembourgish government, an incubator for startups in technology. So yeah, we have a great setup, and across these entities we have 400 employees coming from 57 nationalities. Often the interns have added to that number as well. And yeah, so we have a great thing going on, and we have a great business. It's quite rapidly changing. There's always quite a demand. So we have the experience of onboarding also interns and really creating win-win situations.
Okay, well, yes, that's not that easy, that's true. We're talking about the internship students, so make sure that's what we talk about. So the huge advantage of working during the day and having class in the evening, of course, is accelerated learning, as we call it. Meaning that everything you learn in the evening, and we are definitely encouraging to do, take to the next day and try out in the office. So if we talk about, team building or stuff, have fun during the day and come back the day after to give feedback. How did it work for you? Did it not work? Did you adapt it? I mean, what dynamics can you create doing the team building? So So that's very important. The working part for internship students is quite important as well, because two reasons, basically. First of all, they can further build their curriculum vitae, so they will continue building experience, knowledge, etc., that they can use pushing their career further up, and they generate income, which is not a bad thing to have as well, because of course doing a study like this is quite expensive. Let's be honest. We can't beat around the bush. But it is quite interesting that most companies here in Luxembourg do have a fairly interesting compensation. We can't call it remuneration because it's officially not. But that will definitely help already with, for instance, paying off on loans. So it's a very win-win situation for both the student, for our program, for the learning, for their income situation and for their career.
I guess before I get into the story of how I ended up in SHU and working for Vodafone, I'd like to address one fundamental question, which is why Luxembourg? How did I end up in Luxembourg? So this is a question which I'm sure everyone who's studying, working, living in Luxembourg has to face at one moment or another. And this always leads me back to one fundamental word, which is anchor. In a sort of sense, in Luxembourg, in SHU, and to a large extent in Vodafone, I have found my anchor in life, my stability in life. See, I come from a emerging third culture generation. So this is a generation that grew up around multiple different nationalities, multiple different cultures, traveled a lot in their life, and studied, learned, and grew up in a lot of different environments. And it was when I was finishing my bachelor studies that I was trying to look for, a sort of anchor in life, somewhere where I could kickstart my professional career and somewhere where I could actually start to build my foundation going forward. After speaking to a few friends and learning about Luxembourg, learning about the ability to get the residency, and then looking into the Sacred Heart Program Masters, this was when I really started to identify, not just with Luxembourg, but with the opportunities that can come with it. After joining the Sacred Heart program, it was really an eye-opening and very life-changing experience for me. So on one hand, it was a program with a lot of fantastic professors coming from the United States, professors coming from Europe, a very dynamic and a very engaging program. But I would say the one standout feature of the Sacred Heart's Masters was the students, my colleagues, the people I was working with on a day-to-day basis. I mean, yes, you had recent graduates like myself, you had study abroads, you had people coming from all over the world, but it was also the levels in which you were interacting with these peoples. You had CEOs, you had CFOs, you had senior managers, you had junior managers, you had parents who were coming back, trying to rejoin the workforce, trying to kickstart a new career. It was really this amalgamation of so many different cultures, so many different nationalities, mindsets that really set the pace and really set the journey for which would eventually lead me to getting my master's in Sacred Heart, eventually pursuing an internship at Vodafone, and eventually establishing for what would come to be my home for many, many years to come, as a full-time employee at Vodafone. And it was really at Sacred Heart where this journey really started. Now, to borrow a few words from the great Robert Frost, always taking the road less traveled is never an easy approach. It was very challenging, it was very difficult, and it was by no means simple. You had many late nights, obviously juggling working during the day, attending classes in the evening, studying up, working on projects late at night. You had to sacrifice weekends, you had to sacrifice holidays, you had to sacrifice a lot of things, but eventually this is what made me the professional I am today, the person I am today, and this is what led me eventually to pursuing a full-time career at Vodafone. So after, working with such a diverse group of people, such a dynamic group of people, such different mindsets, it really, the program instills in you the appetite and the hunger to strive for different, to always challenge the status quo, and always look to approach things in a unique way, in a way that you wouldn't have actually considered had you been, working in a very siloed environment. And I would say that is the greatest asset that SHU gave me. And eventually moving on to Vodafone, this was a work environment that was, again, by no means easy to adapt to and to get integrated to. But it's a place where if you value innovation, if you value change, if you value challenging the status quo, this is a place where you will thrive and eventually a place where you can build your career. So yeah, in a nutshell, my experience studying in Sacred Heart and working for Vodafone, challenging, eye-opening, and to a very large extent, invigorating.
So imagine you're in Brazil, you're having your life there, totally organized, family, friends, a career, income, all of that. And your question is, why would anyone come to Luxembourg, of all places, doing an MBA with internship? Because it helps. Because you have a very different environment. You will have, by the way, a very international, a multinational environment with Luxembourg. Unique in Europe, I would say. It will escalate your current position, so that's for sure, but it will definitely change your way of thinking. It will definitely change your perception of what is important to you. It will definitely spiral your creativity, it will spiral your ambitions, it will spiral your network, it will spiral your way in how you treat people around you and how you want to be treated, by the way. So it is such an important learning experience for life that it actually would be very much a shame not to grant yourself that opportunity.
I really think it is a win-win situation where you do an MBA and, like Esther already mentioned, you can actually apply your learning the very same moment almost. And in Vodafone, I think we are really well set up for interns because we create a lot of opportunity to develop. You can learn a lot. The learning is yours, obviously. We really are looking for proactive, driven and entrepreneurial people who really want to challenge the business and really want to develop themselves, grow and learn a lot, but also challenge their environment and make sure everybody will improve. To keep the leading position that we have to constantly reinvent ourselves. And it fits really well also with one of our core principles, which is experimenting and learn fast. That's what we'll ask everybody to do. Also our interns, also all the professionals that will join us. Next to that, we also have another really strong core principle that I see happening on a daily basis. We have to get things done, but we're getting things done together. We're a big corporate, we cannot do it alone. We really work across local markets with virtual teams, with the teams here on the ground. And an intern also has to really take on the opportunity and play the important role that this person really can have. Another one is creating the future. Well, the young professionals, also professionals, and the interns surely are our future, right? So why not ask them to help us create our future? Really important. Often we find them with innovative ideas, ideas that they have been faced with also via the Sacred Heart University program. And we ask them to come and speak to us about it and challenge us and make us better in what we do to actually really earn our customer loyalty.
So my last message to all of you would be never stop learning, never stop looking for opportunities to grow. There is never such a thing as too late. There is never such a thing as the wrong direction, the wrong answer. As long as you're exploring new things, as long as you're taking the chance, always try to find your energy, try to find that one thing that motivates you and follow it to the end. And this is really something that the Sacred Heart program opened my eyes to, and it was with a course that I took with Esther, whom you've heard quite a lot from today. And she really, reminded me of, my passions in life, what it is that I want in life. Forget all the plans, forget, what I thought I should be doing. What is it that motivates me? What is it that gives me passion? What is it that gets me out of bed in the morning? Once you find that, and once you focus on that, I think you can accomplish anything. The key thing is always keep an open mind. Never be set in your ways. Always challenge the status quo, and you can make it anywhere. You can go anywhere, and you can be whoever you want. And honestly, my time at SHU was a time I will never forget. It was a time of a lot of great laughs, a lot of important lessons, a lot of hardships, a lot of sacrifice. But I can definitely say I would not be where I am today without that program. I would not be where I am today if I had forgotten my motivation, if I had forgotten what actually excites me in life. And you know, the program, yes, reinstills that passion in you, but it also provides you with the framework, the guidance, and more importantly, it populates you full of fantastic people in so many different situations yet, but also in a very similar position. All of them are looking to change something in their lives. All of them are looking to pursue something more in their lives. All of them are looking to explore new opportunities, new ways to be. And yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, this program changed my life. This program is the reason why I'm still in Luxembourg, and it's the reason why I'm having such a fantastic career currently at Vodafone. So yeah, never give up, never stop changing.